The winds of seasonal change are blowing a frosty gale. Winter's not quite finished with us yet. So come cozy up with me by the crafty cupboard. I am wool embroidering this floral motif, and it's going to be part of my new sewing journal. So for quite a while now I've been stitching little pages here and there as my stitch journal instead of my art journal. So in an art journal you get to play and to dabble, and in a stitch journal you do the same thing, but with stitching instead of art, instead of drawing and painting. And I feel like it's time now to make the actual journal that all those pieces are going to go in. Initially I thought this could be one episode, but I will have to spread it into a few parts for you. So today I'm going to share with you what I've been doing to make the stitched cover, and then later I'll show you how I turned that into a hard-covered book with the pages that I've already created inside and room to put in future pages as well. So sort of a future-proof journal. So all of these beautiful snippets of fabric from past projects or worn out doilies. This here was a collar. The pearls you can see have been pinned down, and I'm using running stitch. This is the back. I turned it over so you can see those stitches to hold all the pieces down. So it's time now to finish the unfinished. So this was a doily I'd found in a second-hand store. It had a large stain in the middle, and it's actually a heart shape, but I just cut this edge off and stitching right through my layers. So my piece of backing fabric, I've actually put some thin wadding behind it, some iron-on pellon, just to give it some nice texture and some nice firmness. It feels lovely and soft to stitch through. Now, can you see that I have this piece actually rolled up in tissue paper, because a candle I bought came wrapped in this tissue and it smells absolutely divine. So I wrapped up my piece to protect it in the tissue, and of course it's getting the lovely scent from the candle all through it. I really adore it. And this sits out on my table. Truth is, all the stitching that you're going to see here has taken place over many weeks. And I just slowly pick it up, do a few stitches here and there, really taking my time and enjoying this piece. Many hours of enjoyment. And now you'll realise my other delight of having my piece wrapped in tissue paper is the beautiful sound, the lovely crinkly sound as I'm working on the piece. I really enjoy it a lot. Let's get some beads on this piece. I'm going to use beads in the flower centres. Now this is just a random jar of scraps of beads. So when I spill them, I put them in that jar. And I carry that little jar in my sewing caddy with me. So I've always got beads on the go. And it's nice to be using up these little beads instead of having to sort them back into the individual jars where they came from. and I find it easiest to find the ones I want if I can tip it out. But when I'm travelling, say if I'm stitching on the train or something like that, I can't spill them out, obviously, so I just enjoy the lucky dip of putting the needle in and drawing the needle out and seeing what bead is upon it and using that on the little slow stitch piece that I'm doing on the travel. Now, I am so excited to be going on holidays soon. Many months ago, my family booked a little trip to Melbourne together, and they're heading off to a video game convention or something together, and I thought, well, I might go along on the trip too, but I will entertain myself looking for sewing treasures while they're off enjoying their video games. And then Corinne from To Be Loved Treasures announced that she was going to be hosting a Christmas slow stitching retreat at Ballarat. It was in the days leading up to when I was going to Melbourne with the family anyway, and I was so excited that it coincided with when I had time off and that it was a trip that I was already going to be taking. So I just instantly signed up. I'm sure you all know Corinne and her work, and it's just beautiful, and she's just such a friendly chatterbox. Her videos are an absolute joy to watch, and I can't wait to be spending time with her and all the other wonderful stitchers who will be going along. I really hope Susanna might be there too. So we'll see. Last year I visited Ballarat with my husband. We started trying to sort of see outer areas of Australia, not just the major cities, and we had the best time in Ballarat and the surrounding areas. It was absolutely beautiful. I'd actually planned the trip because I had seen that Creswick had an open garden weekend, and it just looked stunning. So yeah, that's where we went, and we had the best time, and they're the most beautiful stores there to explore for craft, for vintage treasures and beautiful new patchwork fabrics. And yeah, I can't wait to go back. I'm so excited to be going on that trip. So it's a bit like waiting for Christmas. Will any of you be going along too? It'd be so lovely to hear from you in the comments if you're going along, if you're planning to be there. I'd love to meet you. Isn't it just the best when you can get together with like-minded people and spend time doing something that you love together? And so we'll be working on a Christmas panel, and I will probably try and curate a collection of purple fabrics to take with me, because our Christmas tree decorations are purple, a little bit on the pinks, and champagne and ivory. So the theme basically came from my wedding, so champagne and ivory, and my bridesmaids' dresses were purple, and so I just loved those things so much. And I had done things like turn my drop earrings that I made into the dangly part of a bell. and so they hang on the tree. And the excess of my wedding veil, the excess tulle from that, I stitched into little dresses for some angel teddy bears that I made. And so there's a lot of wedding pieces. We had cherubs all through my wedding, and so they've since had hangers attached to them, so they hang in the tree. So I was able to reuse a lot of the pieces I'd collected from my wedding and make those part of my tree. And I love it. I love seeing it every year. I love getting out those same treasures. Isn't it just wonderful to see your pieces and unpack them each year and hang them on the tree? I find it a really calming and relaxing thing to do. And I love sitting by the sparkly tree at night with the lights on and just on a soft twinkle, you know, where they sort of don't flash, but they just sort of slowly glow on and then glow off. Gorgeous. Now these lines were marked in a water erasable. I didn't film the process, but here's the stitches and me removing the pen. That's all I have time to share with you today, and I'll be back with this project when I'm ready for the next stage. Until then, keep stitching with joy and love and finding calm in every creation. Bye, my friends.